In this podcast episode, Nick Cannon discusses his journey from creating a show to pay his rent to building a billion-dollar conglomerate. He talks about his early years and the optimism and imagination that fueled his belief in his own success. Despite growing up in a household with limited resources, Cannon always felt destined for greatness. Cannon credits his family for creating a loving and joyous home environment, despite their financial struggles. His parents separated when he was young, but his grandparents played a significant role in raising him. He also mentions that his father turned his life around and became a minister, which had a positive impact on Cannon. At a young age, Cannon discovered his passion for rap music and comedy. He started doing stand-up comedy at the age of 11 and quickly gained recognition for his talent. He credits his early experiences in stand-up for developing his writing and performing skills. He also mentions that his mentors, such as Jamie Foxx and Will Smith, played a crucial role in his career development. Cannon emphasizes the importance of hard work and dedication in achieving success. He learned from Will Smith that being the hardest worker in the room is more important than being the most talented. Cannon also shares the lessons he learned from his own failures, such as the disappointment of his show not getting picked up by a network. These experiences taught him resilience and the importance of perseverance. Throughout the podcast, Cannon emphasizes the importance of doing what you love and finding joy in your work. He believes that money doesn't bring happiness, but rather happiness brings money. He encourages people to operate in their gifts and to pursue their passions with a sense of purpose and enjoyment. Cannon also discusses the music industry and the challenges he sees within it. He believes that there is a lot of bad money in the industry, where people are driven by greed and manipulation. He strives to operate with happy money and good money, where integrity and honesty are prioritized. Cannon reflects on his career and acknowledges that he had to learn some lessons along the way. He mentions that people tried to warn him about signing bad contracts and taking advantage of others, but he has always remained true to himself and his purpose. He believes in his own vision and is not afraid to assert his authority and make decisions that align with his goals. One pivotal moment in Cannon's career was when he self-funded the pilot for Wild and Out at the age of 23. He rented out a comedy club, gathered cameras, and invested around $100,000 into the project. This decision allowed him to have creative control and ownership over the show, which ultimately led to its success. Cannon emphasizes the importance of owning intellectual property and using it as leverage in negotiations with larger corporations. Cannon's entertainment company, Incredible Entertainment, has become a billion-dollar conglomerate. The success of Wild and Out has led to various business ventures, including a tour, a cruise line, franchised restaurants, merchandise, and a strong digital presence on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Cannon mentions that the brand is worth billions of dollars, but he tries not to get caught up in the financial aspect and instead focuses on the impact he can make with his platform. Aside from his business ventures, Cannon also discusses his battle with lupus nephritis, an autoimmune condition that affects his kidneys. He shares that the diagnosis changed his perspective on life and made him appreciate the importance of health and time. Cannon credits his wife, Mariah Carey, for being his rock and supporting him through his health struggles. He believes that she saved his life by going above and beyond to ensure he received the necessary medical care. Cannon's diagnosis has made him more aware of his mortality and has motivated him to make the most out of each day. He values relationships and time more than ever and strives to leave a positive impact on the world. Cannon acknowledges that he has lived several lives and wants to be remembered for his big smile, love, and ability to make the most out of life. Cannon talks about the need to enter spaces with empathy and compassion, as it reminds us that we are all human and that life is unpredictable. He highlights the importance of making the most out of each day because we never know what tomorrow may bring. He also mentions the significance of learning from past regrets and taking action in the present moment. The host of the podcast mentions that Cannon's loss is something that no parent ever conceives as a possibility, and Cannon agrees, stating that it is difficult for others to fully understand the pain and struggles that come with such a loss. He advises against using the phrase, "I understand," when someone is going through a difficult time, as each person's experience is unique. The host of the podcast mentions that Cannon's loss is something that no parent ever conceives as a possibility, and Cannon agrees, stating that it is difficult for others to fully understand the pain and struggles that come with such a loss. He advises against using the phrase, "I understand," when someone is going through a difficult time, as each person's experience is unique. Cannon reflects on the constant reminder of his son's loss and the need to keep pushing through. He acknowledges that time may heal wounds to some extent, but the pain of losing a child never completely goes away. However, he has learned to live with the pain and find joy and appreciation in life, being a jovial and optimistic person. When asked about his grieving process, Cannon explains that grieving is not limited to a specific time period but is something that he experiences daily. He mentions that during that period, there was a lot of silence from him as he internalized his thoughts and emotions. He describes the internal struggle, guilt, and questions that arise when dealing with the loss of a child. The conversation then shifts to the concept of letting go and its potential impact on one's life. Cannon shares that there are certain things he overanalyzes and stresses about, particularly related to his children and relationships. However, he also recognizes that there are things he cannot control and chooses not to let them affect him. He believes that letting go of certain things would not have a significant impact on his life. Cannon discusses the importance of turning grief into purpose and using it as a badge of honor in one's character. He shares examples of how his own experiences of loss have shaped his compassion, appreciation, and desire to be a better father. He believes that pain and grief can be transformative and fill the empty spaces in one's life. The host asks Cannon about his household during the period of grieving, and he mentions that he becomes quiet and keeps to himself. He describes the eerie silence that fills the room and the internal process of thinking and appreciating the time and energy he had with his son. He also mentions that there is a lot of love and compassion in his household during that time. The conversation then moves to the topic of legacy, and Cannon reflects on his understanding of it. He realizes that his children are not his legacy but their own individuals. He believes that what they can build together as a family can become a legacy. Cannon identifies his compassion, gratitude, humility, and humor as aspects of his legacy. He hopes that the things he leaves behind, such as his humor, music, art, movies, and finances, will continue to make people smile even after he is gone. The podcast ends with the host expressing his admiration for Cannon's work and the impact he has had on so many people's lives. Cannon's ability to put others on and create platforms for them is something the host aspires to do as well. Cannon's response emphasizes the importance of enjoying the journey, finding the story and lesson in every challenge, and making people smile. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.